Books with Brandywine. I am so excited to be with you guys today so I can tell you about Holes by Louis. Okay, if you guys don't know already, I'm really bad at names, but I think it's Sachar? It's S-A-C-H-A-R. And if you guys know the correct pronunciation, please let me know, because I feel bad that I'm always pronouncing names wrong, and I really do want to pronounce them correctly. But I just read this book. This was another one of those books that was on my TBR list for the Witchathon that I didn't get a chance to get to during the Witchathon. So I just finished reading it, and I loved it. It was everything that I hoped it would be. I had seen the movie when it first came out, but I hadn't read the book, and it seemed like all my friends had read the book. So I really wanted to read this book. This book has been on my TBR for years. It's very short. It's a middle grade read, and I think it has some really good messages in it. This is the main character. Oh, sorry, you can't really see him. This is the main character here. He is Caveman, and then that is Zero. I'm assuming that's Zero. There's a lot of boys in this camp, but I assume that he would be like the main person that they would put in this video. I mean, in the cover with them. And then these are like super poisonous lizards that have exactly 11 spots, and if they bite you, you die automatically. Like, there's no hope for you. You're dead. You just give up. And both of them have been sent to this camp where they dig like just hole after hole after hole. Each day they have to dig one hole, and it has to be 5 feet tall and 5 feet wide. And so I was imagining square holes at first, but they're actually round holes, so you can like spin the shovel, and it's 5 feet all the way around the the diameter. And after they dig the one hole, they get to go and relax for the rest of the day. And it's supposed to build character. That's why they're at this camp. But Caveman figures out pretty soon that they're actually digging for something, and they just don't know what. And it's the warden that's searching for whatever this stuff is. And so she just has all these boys that have gotten into trouble digging all of these holes. And I mentioned in my last video with The Girl Who Drank the Moon, I really liked that they would intersperse the stories that the parents told about the witch throughout the chapters. And they did that same thing with this book, so I loved it. I loved getting to have those multiple stories. And so every few chapters it would tell the stories of, at first it was the stories of Stanley, Caveman's great-great-grandfather, and then it switched over to the stories of Kissing Kate Barlow and Sam. And I loved how, like, as the stories would, like, progress and the main storyline was progressing, they would parallel. And so I also liked, I hope this isn't a spoiler. If you haven't read the book or seen the movie yet, then, like, skip over the next 10 seconds. But I love, one of my favorite parts was that the curse that was cursing his family for, like, all those years since his great-great-grandfather was actually what ended up breaking the curse. Because if he hadn't been cursed and sent to this camp, then he wouldn't have run into Zero, who he needed to break the curse. So the curse broke itself, I guess, which I really liked. That was really cool. And because they were so cursed, their life actually ended up being super blessed, which was really cool. I loved that too, because his Kissing Kate Barlow had stolen a bunch of documents and jewels from his great-grandfather, and she had hidden them in the lake, and that's what the warden was searching for. But the warden just knew she was searching for Kissing Kate Barlow's treasure. She didn't know what the treasure was. But if the great-grandfather hadn't had the bad luck to have that stolen, then they wouldn't have had the luck to find it. But yeah, so one thing that did surprise me was there was a counselor. I think his name was Mr. Pendaski. And when they first introduced him, I liked him. I thought he was a really cool guy. But then halfway through the story, he just gets, like, really bad. Like, it turns out he's a really bad guy. And I thought that was really sad, because I thought that he was, like, the one, like, person that they had there at the camp that they could kind of, like, relate to and help them get through things. But nope, he's just as bad as everybody else. And, so yeah, it turns out that there is a sequel to this book. they have the, in the very back of it, they have like the preview to the sequel. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to read the sequel. Like, I'm reading the first few chapters of it, but it hasn't really pulled me in. But I knew that I always wanted to read this book. So I was really excited to get to read it. I did love it. It was a very quick read, but I liked it. I had fun. I enjoyed it. I felt like I was out there in the hot sun with them. So if you haven't read it yet, I would definitely suggest you read it. I think it's a good book too to try and get back into reading if you've been having a slump lately. And I really enjoyed it. I will see you guys next time, and we'll find out what book I'm going to be reading next. I will give you a hint. It has to do with Dinovember. If any of you guys know what Dinovember is, and if you don't, then look it up, because it is the best thing you guys will ever experience. Oh, I wish I could be as cool as those parents. Dinovember is awesome. Anyway, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.